Hey, here we are again. We are back. It is your host with the most from the Coast Oslo here with Jay Scheidel. We are back. Wow, Jay, what a 4-day.
Did you get
Yes,
sleep?
I get sleep. Yes, not
Okay,
as
good.
much as I wanted, but enough. It was great to see everyone out there. You guys
Oh yeah.
exceeded my expectations by a large margin. I'm more than proud to once again stand before everyone and say you did great.
Oh yeah.
Every single person that donated, thank you so much. I know that I know Ross was happy about the whole thing. They the Burn Children's Fund were sending messages to Danny talking about how great it was, and I'm overjoyed. And let's not forget, you know, Jay Scheidel said he liked the Vorpal, and that's
Oh
very
my
important.
goodness. He told me he was going to bring this up.
Oh, I did you think I wasn't going to? It was fantastic.
I was hoping you'd forget with
I
all the pre-com chatter,
no. I waited specifically for your hosting shift on that Sunday to be like, yep, and now we put the money where my mouth is.
And I had to read it. It was for the kids.
That's right. I had to do what I had to do, but it was fantastic. I'm kind of I'm a little sad. Team Canada did not win the FFR rally. I was
USA. Say USA. The voice
you also
from
may
the back.
Yeah, you may also hear the voice of Danny, who is also with us because after we're done our little intro, prize draw. Yeah, but it was great. There was so many amazing games featured, from Final Fantasies to Mega Man to Tunic to just amazing and great runners. Like just a lot of really entertaining games all weekend. I had a blast. I had it on my TV when I was doing coding work. I had it on my computer when I was doing nothing.
I had it in a headphone most of the day. I kept checking in on things, going, okay, what's going on here? If I could have had it on during all state auditions, I probably would have, but I think something would have been bad about that.
Oh, literally, I spent the day like 15 feet in the air on a ladder running cable with my phone like velcroed to the cable. So as I'm moving the cable along, I'm like, keep an eye on this, eye on this.
Yep.
So yeah,
but
it was
$6,250 raised for the charity, making it our highest ever marathon. Like, holy cow!
Yeah, that's amazing. Like I mean, to be fair, we said last week we wanted to see a lot of donations.
Oh yeah.
Amazing. And yet when Fox got to say Hatchet Boy with those bosses.
Oh my,
I was in bed with my phone watching it and being like, I want to sleep. This kid is just
we were all sitting in chat going like, it's getting late with the marathon. But oh my goodness, what is he doing? Oh my goodness, what? Like,
we can't stop him.
I can't do that.
No.
I was some great moments from it.
Oh, absolutely. From seeing records being set for personal bests for Super Mario on the very first day to the ending out with Hatchet Boy and the Axeman, doing a great father-son run.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
What is it, 12 kids, I think, now that we get to send to camp?
We do.
So, absolutely amazing.
We did. I mean, fantastic. I'm so proud of the community. I'm proud to be here to talk about it again. I thank every single host, restreamer, anyone who did tracking, anyone who did a run, the runners who put their
everything.
Commentary, absolutely, because we wouldn't do it without the runners. Like, no one's just going to watch me and Jay talk for 3 days straight.
We can BS for maybe an hour or two, but you don't want to hear that much past
that. I mean, we can do it as long as I need to. But eventually, it's just going to be me reading off recipes for donaires, and nobody wants to hear that just yet.
I mean, I think we had a joke on, it could be donations to get us to stop talking.
Yeah, that was a thought.
We could, I mean. But
and how many people's eardrums are still okay? As a band leader, how could you not keep people in time?
I tried. Sorry,
Fizzle.
You did. Sorry, Fizzle. I love you.
24-hour power hour when? Just wait.
See. It's okay. I said if we had to do it again, I was going to bring my metronome out and just have it clicking through the.
Hey, I stirred the pot and left. I just said where was Luffy and then left.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. In fairness, I was ready to sing that song on time. I went with a group, but it just
and the group just
slogged
slowed down.
along.
I can tell you after doing band on Zoom for a year that is 100% what happens. We tried all state Zoom that year, and everyone had a metronome just going on to be on at the same time. There was like a click track that everyone was able to get go. Yeah, it was crazy.
The funniest part about that is I think at least 4 or 5 of the 6 people that were in there singing all have been in a music like
Right?
band or
Yep.
something and
Yep.
know how to count.
And I know two of us did it by profession.
I have never been more happy to have this persistent cough.
I did play. I didn't show the clip to him because I try to leave my online personality and my home one different. But I did play it for a couple of my seniors, and they were rolling on the floor of the office. It was absolutely horrible. I'm like, look what I did over the weekend. Click, and then they're just dying.
Well, speaking of clicking, we do have Danny with us, which means, hey, who likes prizes?
We gotta finish up some marathon stuff here.
We do. So here we have, this is Thursday's drawing.
Correct.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is an 8-bit duo controller.
Yeah, so the prize is in the center of the wheel here.
They're fantastic controllers too. They really are. I've been using my wireless one for a long time.
Mine's laying down over there.
I love it.
But
hot keys, your reset button.
I don't know if that was purposely done color-wise to match the prize.
Yeah,
it was.
Bless you. That makes me happy.
I started playing around with Wheel of Names. And it's like, do you want to match the prize or match the center? I'm like, yes.
Yes.
Oh, it's about to get real bright on Saturday, y'all. Let's go.
Yeah. But shall we? I wish I had a. Oh, wait a minute. Is there in the soundboard a drum roll?
Yes.
Ooh.
Sonny's not here, so I'll let this slide.
No, it's a badum chiss. It's not a drum roll. Dang it.
Sonny. That's
not quite
right. It's not quite the same thing. Anyway,
here we go. Let's roll for Thursday.
Spin her up. Let's see who's going to be our winner. We will do that one, Fox. Is it going to be Dark Moon?
Is it going to be Dark Moon? I call rigged.
I think it's going to be Dark Moon.
Rigged.
I don't even think he's in chat. Let me see if he's here. Is Dark Moon here?
I think
he's not.
He's watching a movie with the wife.
He is.
Well,
and I'm not. And I like his wife, and I'm not making her mad that we pinged him during.
No,
we'll let him know afterwards. And if he decides he doesn't want it, because sometimes people do, especially us in the administration bracket, then we can re-roll. It's
absolutely.
But if not, he's getting control.
Yeah, as Fizzle said, 2 hours we all ping Darkman, exactly.
Oh, yes.
We do
all of
us,
everyone in the marathon channel, one after another.
We already did.
Don't tell him I said that. Just do it.
Look at
Friday.
That's Thursday.
Give me a moment. I gotta click buttons.
I know. All right, so let's see what we got for Friday. This was our Castlevania limited edition, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Here. Oh wait. No. It's still gotta do drums.
Okay.
It's wrong, but it makes it perfect, and I love it.
Fizzle said it was drums involved.
Just enough jank.
Oh, wait. I think we have ourselves a winner.
We do. J-Brun TR. So we'll get a hold of them later.
Yep. So congratulations. Moving on.
Friday out, Saturday in, and
Saturday
close, open to Saturday.
All right. This is our artwork. I don't know if that's okay. I'm just gonna go with it. Screw it.
I need a drum roll.
I know you do.
Oh,
you got the underscore. Is it going to be an underscore?
Yay! We have 10.
Well, there you go. There is your winner
for the artwork.
Everybody's been good. All right, and then last but not least,
fade that over.
We have Sunday.
Open up Sunday. All right.
Something.
Here we go.
Roll it up.
Oh, nope.
I can't yet. Okay, that's not a drum, but okay, we'll go with it.
Oh.
Is it good? Okay, now you can go and ping.
Now can we all just go to everyone on chat right now? Go to Discord and just ping Ale.
Ping Ale. You can always ping Ale. Ale loves it. It's his favorite thing.
I really want to see general chat just light up with pings.
You know it's going to
I was
happen.
headed to Marathon, but like.
Whatever works. Anyways, congratulations, Ale. I'm sure you'll get this and wonder what is going on the server. But yeah. There's already new unreads. I can see them out of the corner of my eye. How much power do we have? Apparently more than I thought. Okay, this is getting scary. Okay, so
it's fine. Ale loves us.
He does.
Yeah,
so congratulations.
That's what we call it.
Congratulations to all of our winners.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure we will get in contact with you. You can get your prize, and yeah, it's gonna be a great time. Thank you all so much for your, and
everyone will be reached out to tonight.
Just to be aware, I have to say this: donations aren't closed just because the marathon is open. You can still give more money if you want to.
Yeah, the actual link to donation stays open till our next marathon, so that link will be active for the next 6 months. So on a random Tuesday, 2 months from now, if you got like $10 and you want to say, "Hey, I'll send it to the Burn Children's Fund," well, you can click that link and feel free.
I just have to make a report that Ale has been summoned, and with the response of "What?" and then you won the prize. Oh, neat. He's awake, so congratulations, Ale. I know you're not here, but you'll yell at us later.
Maybe.
But thank you, Danny, for joining us for that.
Yes, thank you very much, Danny. We appreciate having you on as always. So with that,
all right. Yep, I'm out. Bye, guys. Y'all have fun.
We'll transition. Transition to an ad here, and then show like normal.
Well, hold on. We haven't even said who's the guests tonight. Well, we did in the.
I would say we kind of already did, but go ahead.
So tonight we have FF6 Beyond Chaos is here. Yeah, we saw a couple of runs. It was fantastic. I definitely put a lot of money for the Berserk mode on because it's awesome to watch. And everyone likes it.
Oslaughter, that was a different FF6 run.
It's still the same game.
Okay.
It's still the same game. Remember, we promote the game and the run. Both. But again, I really do like the game. I can't wait to have to talk to our guests about it.
Yeah. But
so
before then,
Lupa?
Lupa 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 Lupa.
Welcome back. Here we are again. I would like to hear our guests from FF6 Beyond Chaos. We have Cecil. Cecil, how you doing tonight?
Good, thanks. And yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. Faith Low, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great. Doing good.
And Dark Slash, welcome.
Doing good. Thank you.
Fantastic. So yeah, I really did enjoy watching all the FF6. Big fan when I was younger. Still love the game. So yeah. So for any of the fans that didn't catch the game, Beyond Chaos it's a randomizer, clearly, but it's a little bit different than what we do here on randomizer. I believe you guys have an objective system.
That's not us. No.
I can never see. I get them confused.
See, so many games.
It's been a
Tell
very
us
long
about
week.
Beyond Chaos.
Yeah, tell us about Beyond Chaos, so I don't put my foot back in my mouth again.
Okay, yeah. So Beyond Chaos is, for our purposes, racing it here, Beyond Chaos is the linear randomizer. We went from the start of the game to the end of the opera, and the storyline is mostly not randomized. We do have a couple tweaks in there, mostly to the scenarios, but the lion's share of the randomization comes from the gameplay aspects, and that covers just about everything you can think of, from espers to equipment to characters to everything in between. So yeah, that's our claim to fame, is a very, very extremely thorough randomization of every aspect related to gameplay at the player's discretion, of course.
So pretty much a linear, you're going through the game, but stuff that you're doing is randomized in it.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
the monsters will act differently. Your characters all have new skills. All the equipment's different. All the chests are different. All the shops are different. Literally, you have different decisions to make at every point in the game, other than however to progress the story.
So my speedrunning guide doesn't work for it?
No, we randomized the RNG too. So
oh, nice.
Oh, that's always good.
Yeah.
So
the encounter scenes aren't even the same.
You guys went to the opera scene. That was where we cut it off. Can you go to the actual end of the game?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah, yep.
And that's not even the only game mode either. There's also Ancient Cave mode, which is it basically takes the entire game and just kind of shoves it into a singular dungeon that is just randomly generated. So it's a completely different experience, and you basically just go in with 3 parties, and they go through a very, very, very long version of Kefka's Tower, essentially, that starts with very, very basic enemies and eventually scales up to the normal end game stuff. So yeah, tons of ways to play the game.
Sounds like we've got a mode called Deep Dungeon. That sounds very similar to.
That's what I was going to say. It sounds a lot like Deep Dungeon.
52 levels, you get all the way down, chaos is at the bottom, good luck.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what brought you guys into FF6, and then what brought you into Beyond Chaos? Did you play the base game first? Did you go straight to this one? You know, the FFR community, we have members who have never touched the vanilla game in their lives before, and then start the randomizer. What about you three?
I started speedrunning the normal game.
Go for it, yeah.
I did start speedrunning the normal game way back in 2014.
Oh, nice.
I did that for a couple years, and
wow,
can't remember the exact year I picked this up. I think 2016.
We might have crossed over
been
briefly
playing
then.
it a lot since 2016. I think Dark Slash hadn't really played vanilla all that much before he started playing this.
It's true. I'd never beaten vanilla. I played it sparingly as a kid and a little bit in university, but I liked how random the randomizer could be, and I found a couple of streamers online playing it, and so that interested me to play it. And it's funny, I actually beat the randomizer permadeath, meaning that without a game over, before I ever beat vanilla, period.
That's awesome.
And I've only ever beat 2 vanilla runs ever, so.
Oh, wow. And I'm going to guess with a name like Cecil, did you come from FF4 to start with?
No, actually, FF6 was the first FF game I had.
I had
because, yeah, you'd think, but no. Yeah, I kind of bounced around because I'm a bit younger, and so the game itself, FF6, is older than I am, so bit of a different thing. But I did play it as a kid, and then because it was one of the only games we had like 5 games for the Super Nintendo, and that was it. So after that, I didn't really play it. I played it like once, and then that was fine. It was just like normal playthrough, and then I don't know, like 10 to 15 years later, my brother is actually part of a FF6 hacking community, and I am kind of tangentially associated with them as well. And one day, the creator of the randomizer just kind of posted it there, and he's like, "Oh, you should try this out." He said to me, "I should try this out." So I did, and now I've played like 120 different seeds, and I was terrible at the game starting out, but now it's just like the first seed I played was really rough because things weren't quite as balanced back then, and I had no idea what I was doing with the game. I didn't know how any of the things worked in even vanilla. But yeah, so it's just been a full progression from complete zero to where I am today. So it's fun.
That leads perfectly into like how old is Beyond Chaos? You know, like how long has this project been going on? You know, what kind of tells some history about the game itself.
Okay. Yeah, let me see. So version 51 of the original game was what I started with. I want to see where that is because I still have here's a weird thing. I keep every seed I've ever completed. So
no, I don't have a USB stick full of my seeds. No.
Yeah. So I think the first actual playable version of the game, according to Abyssum, the creator, was something like version 17 or so, and I want to say that was released back in 2014.
You
I
are
got
correct.
into it early 2015. That was when I did my first seed, and so I've been. It's almost 10 years for me at this point, which is wild. Uh, since then, we got up to version 65, but
Oh,
then
wow.
Abyssum kind of stepped back from it, and so this is probably one of the banes of my existence is just how we've kind of swapped rails a couple times. So we started with Abyssum's version because he's the original creator. Then eventually we had Abyssum kind of step back, and we had another creator, Subtraction Soup, and he released four major versions. They weren't nearly as granular as Abyssum's versions, and then after that, Subtraction Soup stepped back. So his version was Beyond Chaos EX. And so after that, he stepped back from that, and we decided to make something that was more future proof. So that's
Mhm.
where Beyond Chaos CE or Community Edition comes in. I want to say we started that project around 2022, 2023. Maybe you know Dark Slash because.
Yeah, I think it was 2023.
Okay.
Maybe it was 2022. I'm not too sure. We
Yeah.
did go for basically, yeah, I think it was 2022 because we went for
It
about
was
2
2022.
years with nobody on the, like, we just had nobody in charge. Like, nothing was happening. There's no development. We just had what we had, and that was
Wow.
kind of it. Which is why I decided to step up and quote unquote take over, which really, as much as I am I don't know, I consider myself a project coordinator more than anything because I'm not a good programmer. I would argue that I'm not a programmer at all. I'm more of a vision caster, and I look at everybody's complaints. I try to find out, effective ways to do that. I find the right people to help implement it. Like, the community has a ton of incredibly talented programmers who are willing to help me make it what it is right now, right? And we've been able to accomplish quite a lot in the last 2 years. But I mean, it's an ongoing process, and honestly, it's the entire community who does it.
Mhm.
So if it was just me, the ship would never have left the port, and we'd still have the same thing we would have had.
We have chat telling us it was 21-22. CE was 2021. So,
Oh, okay.
Yep. Let's get some
But-
confirmation because I've went and kind of snooped on your GitHub and taken a look, and yeah, like I see names in here, and I see the same names here.
but
Yeah,
2014 that seems awfully old for a randomizer. Like, I try to think about when I started thinking about Link to the Past was the first one most people probably like came to their view, and this seems like it might be just about as old. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
one
sure
of the
has taken a
originals.
while
One of the
to get
original big
that.
ones.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
taken
even.
a while to build up such a mature and
Oh yeah.
thoroughly constructed experience. It's something that can't be built in a day. So
What, Rome wasn't built in a day? What?
No, no, and as one of the people who puts code into the FFR randomizer, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of things to coordinate, and
Well, and
you
just for
break
a
a lot of
project,
stuff.
for a project going on that long, you are going to have those people who come in and come out, and then you'll have someone who
Sure.
contributes for a year or two, then steps back, then and then that next person's going, what did they do? And trying to figure things out. So I can only imagine. That's so cool that it's been going for 10, 11 years now. Like, wow.
Yeah, that's quite phenomenal. But one of the things that I have to say, because it makes me happy, because you may notice in the lower corner of the OJ Power Hour, there's Mog and there's Setzer Gambiotti. Mog representing, of course, Jay Shido, and Setzer representing himself. As I loved Setzer in FF6, but everyone hates Setzer because he has slots and it's random.
Setzer was fun.
Setzer's great. But with Beyond Chaos, you might get Setzer and he might be the most useful character you get. Am I not wrong about that? He might have like different abilities, different moveset. He could be fantastic. More than he is now, obviously.
yeah, my most recent seed, it was You basically start out the seed, and the characters are terrible, 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 and then you get Setzer's like the saving grace for the entire rest of the world balance. I
Awesome.
think he looked like Link to the Past Link in that scene too, which was fun.
I would argue that Fatho is probably a big fan of Setsu even in vanilla, considering he used to do speedruns. So
yeah,
I love slots. Yeah.
Yes, Joker Doom.
And
That's
the
where
slots in
my-
DC are a little more random than the normal game.
wow.
Not only is the RNG table randomized, but you can get different abilities that you wouldn't normally get.
So you don't just get Lagomorph all the time?
No,
No, you can get
no.
Exploder.
Instead, you get Exploder. Yeah.
That sounds worse.
It is.
Yep, it sure is.
Okay,
With
now you
extreme
gotta explain
randomization
it.
comes really good highs and really low lows.
Yeah.
Explode
What
around
was-
fail is a funny one because it's like, well, if you fail, you explode.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome. I love it so much.
And I'm assuming you can't cheese the slots like you could in vanilla. You know, if you learn it just right, you can get it to go.
That was my follow-up question.
You can. Well,
Okay.
Gems
you
and
have to
chocobos, you
figure
can
out how to
always
manipulate the. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the gems and chocobo, yeah. So as Fatho was saying, you can figure out how to manipulate it if you trial and error enough. But at the very least, chocobos and gems are always on the table. You can always spin those. So if you're good at spinning those, you can spin those 100% of the time and avoid using Exploder.
Ice Storm. That's
Step up.
yeah. Those were the most common ones you used to get.
Yeah.
Well, that
Diamond was very common. So was Chocobo.
Yeah.
for my
Airships is kind of easy too. I think it's a 50-50 chance, something like that for airships.
Yeah.
for my brief year or so of running the speed run of it, I can just remember the trying to get the 777 there in the cranes was the worst part ever. Like I was good to Kefka to Narsh, but once you had to go to the cranes, I was so lost.
Come on, just don't get 7-7 bar.
Yeah.
That's
That fight's annoying because they like in the speedrun they can kill Setzer and you have to do a different backup to do the slots properly. It's a little annoying.
I have tried to do a glitchless run so many times and it always dies right about there. Always. So as like obviously you're here as the community representatives and stuff from the marathon, but how would someone who's interested in getting into Beyond Chaos like get started with it? What is your suggestion? How would they get a hold of you guys? What's the best way to get someone into the game?
Probably the best way would be through the Discord.
Yeah.
Which I think there's probably a link somewhere. And then kind of what I recommend two different ways for people. So in the Beyond Chaos community, there are a lot of people who do play what is called permadeath, which means that if you hit a game over, you will start a brand new seed from the beginning. And obviously that's not recommended for beginners. However, if you are somebody who likes that kind of roguelike permadeath game style, playing permadeath, which like that's how I started playing. You know, I probably went through 100 seeds before I ever made it to Kefka Narsh, but I rapidly saw what the randomizer could give you and how different it was. Whereas if you just take one seed and play it all the way through to completion, you'll get to see the whole game, but you might end up with 10 characters who have pretty bad commands and you're just kind of stuck with them and you don't get to see anything new or fun that maybe the randomizer could give you. So, obviously pick your poison, whatever what appeals to you most, but the randomizer is extremely granular. You can manipulate all the variables on how it randomizes. If you don't like something, don't do it. And then ask for help, really. I don't know, Cecil, do you have anything, or Fathel, you have anything to add to that?
I have spent so much time making documentation for these things that I kind of want to plug the documentation because, I don't know how to automate things, so I do all my tables by hand. I just type them all out.
Fair.
So I made like a whole list of all of the attacks in the game and all of their properties and all that stuff. We have a bot in the Discord that responds to exclamation point commands, or no, there's slash commands now. It responds to slash commands and can tell you just about anything about any specific flag or any specific attack or any specific, I don't know, boss or any specific Junction, which is one of the newer features that is not vanilla at all. So yeah, so that's another huge benefit of the Discord and helping you get started is just that there's a wealth of information there that has taken me a very long time to slowly amass into something that's usable.
I think that's one thing that a lot of newer players are surprised by, because even if they're very familiar with vanilla Final Fantasy VI, there's a lot of enemy skills and skills in general that even if you've played Final Fantasy VI vanilla a lot, you maybe have never seen, or you've maybe seen it once, and you may not really understand what it is or how it works. And so learning how they work and what they do is a big part about figuring out, how you play the randomizer.
Yeah, because in like vanilla, status effects are by and large useless. Understanding how to use different status effects like confuse, etc. Confuse is very useful in Beyond Chaos.
Did you guys end up fixing a lot of the bugs that were there in vanilla, and now those things actually do things now?
Yeah, they're pretty much all fixed.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's optional though. You could do sketch glitch if you want to. It's separate flag.
Yeah, it's all optional. You can turn it on or off.
Yeah,
thankfully most of the things were functional in FF6, with the exception of evade and then by extension blind. That's probably the most obvious and clear bug we fixed that has an impact on gameplay. Thankfully, this isn't FF1 where half the stuff doesn't even work properly. I get that's where you're coming from, but at least in this game, like double GP works properly, increased damage works properly, elemental affinities work properly, most status effects work properly. So we don't have to fix too much, but it definitely there is a lot of spaghetti code that rears its head once you actually start developing. It's like, oh, I would like to move NPC 3 tiles south so that he blocks something. Oops, now the town is on fire. Great. So we actually have a dog on a cliff in Narsh because of that.
Why do I feel like this is coming from experience, not just a joke?
Yeah, I mean, I'm part of a few different FF6 communities, and one of them is the ROM hack Brave New World, and they had to move some NPCs around, and they legends speak of a time where they had to delete an NPC and it caused all the other ones to go out of bounds and whatnot. So they're like, no, we got to put the NPC back. So
I mean,
yeah.
To be fair,
quite a few different ways to explode the game by doing seemingly trivial things. So yeah, thankfully that's not so much client side. So everything looks fine for the most part, except for the what was it? What's the I think it was the scenario not taken flag, how that was super bugged for a while after you'd leave Narsh. It would take like 3.5 minutes and the game would just crash or whatever because it was doing something weird with timers or something. That took us forever to debug, but
it was really frustrating.
Yeah. Or the very funny circumstance where we had a bug where once you start the Moogle defense segment in the beginning of the game, if you would talk to the collapsed Terra, if you talk to the unconscious Terra, it would immediately initiate a fight with the white dragon.
Whoa!
I forgot about that. I think Thomas
that was
did
a
that.
good one.
A few levels away.
Yeah, it's like, oh, and I'm dead.
The funny thing is, it's because the white dragon is so exploitable, you can beat him there if you have the right party. But because all you need is a wall ring and you win, so you can beat him there. It takes forever, but you can do it. But yeah, thankfully most of the bugs have been mostly like on our side of things, so usually things look mostly appropriate, or things just look kind of unusual in general Beyond Chaos, so you can kind of just like, oh, that's actually normal. That's actually intended behavior.
It's funny.
Yeah, even you sometimes get sprites who are a little bit zombie-like, a little bit vampire-like. You still get some graphical glitches, which is just the Final Fantasy VI battle engine struggling with what you asked it to do. Notably, if you do launcher and then some other skill, doesn't really like launcher very much, and you'll get a lot of funky graphical glitches out of that. But those are the types of things that are tricky to fix, and honestly, that the engine is still working just fine. So we've mostly just left those types of things alone.
Right. It's working. Don't mess with it.
Forgiven me. Yeah, I see you still haven't forgiven me for doing a launcher combo skill in the previous rando marathon. I thought nothing of it. I did the test seed. It was like launcher harvest or like launcher scar beam or something, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. And then Dark Slash was like nearly gonna lose his mind because every time you use launcher scar beam, the animation actually bugs in like a different way. Most of the time, it looks normal. I could tell that some things were moving in the opposite, but it still looks fine. But you squint sideways, and it would be like 10 times worse. But nothing happens, so thank goodness.
You chose this for the showcase? Why? Why?
Which perfect segue into how did you feel the run went on Saturday? Like how you feel everything went? How did you like get into it? What was your process behind either vetting a seed or showcasing a seed? Just how was the whole marathon?
So when I vet the seed, I'll start with vetting the seed, and then I'll have them take over with actually playing the seed. When I vet the seed, typically I want a healthy balance of things that are unique to Beyond Chaos and things that are unusual. I don't want the seed to be entirely free, but the main thing is I don't want it to be super difficult. Unfortunately, this time around I had very little time to spare. So I basically played a seed. All right, nothing explodes. It's been vetted. So that was that. The extra fun part was that because I was so rushed, I got to Kefka and Arsh. I'm like, all right, I did it, done. And then like 10 minutes before the race started, I'm like, this is an opera percent seed. I haven't played past that. Thankfully, thankfully, I did recognize that I didn't do very much menuing at all, but I flew through Mount Colts without getting like a single encounter. So I'm like, there's a Moogle charm somewhere in this, and I'm sure they'll find it, even though I didn't. So I figured like halfway through the run, it was when I saw, especially when I saw that Edgar had an innate Moogle charm, I was like, okay, they're at least not going to have to deal with the randoms. So as long as the bosses aren't difficult, they'll be fine. And then the opera rats were terrible, especially because Dark Slash broke his flame shield, which was like the key to that segment. He broke it against Vargas. I was like, well, I probably wouldn't have had a problem with that anyways, I guess. So I'm gonna say that's not my fault with the vetting, but yeah, I would have liked to actually properly next time.
Sometimes the things that come up that are the best things to see.
It's like, absolutely.
I vetted this thing, but good luck, guys.
You have fun with that.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, because when Dataluma used Spiraler, that was new to me too, because I hadn't gotten that far. that was incredibly unusual.
It was too little too late, but I appreciated the handout from BC.
Yeah, the funny thing about that seed, it was actually my fastest opera run ever. But like, because of the Moogle charm, the Moogle charm does a lot for making that run go fast, especially if you get it on an early character there. But it was, while it was the fastest seed I've ever played, it was also the hardest opera run I've ever done too. Every one of those bosses was very difficult. I got super lucky on the Ghost Train though. Dark Slash unfortunately had to strategize that fight, and I think we both went in basically did the same thing at the start, but then I just got lucky with that desperation, so I moved on. I was watching the race back earlier today, and I saw what Dark Slash did there. It took him 3 tries, and then he had to do some Berserk strat.
And I'm going to make an assumption here, but correct me if I'm wrong. You keep saying opera run, so I'm assuming that means that the run ended at the opera. It's basically from the beginning, about halfway through the game.
Yeah, well, that's probably like a 10th of the game, actually. But
yeah, okay. I was gonna say that ain't halfway, sir. That ain't halfway. There's a lot to go after the
right
opera.
after beating Ultros, there is when the run ends.
I would say it's such a long game. You have different like stopping points in it, you know.
Yeah, a normal like permadeath run that I do takes around 20 to 24 hours to do the whole run itself, like the whole game itself. So
that's a fast permadeath run. Most permadeath runs, I would say, are 30.
Yeah, I mean
hours.
those are my run.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds incredibly fast for a permadeath run of anything, because one game over and that's it. You're done. That's it's crazy. Now I will say
one thing I will say about the seed too is that because of the Moogle charm, you end up with a lot less money because you don't have random encounters, and so a lot of the resources that you would normally accrue, just you'd get money from fighting encounters, and then you'd be able to buy things at the shop. You just never had any money to buy anything. So like basic healing items, Phoenix Downs, those types of things, like you had nothing, and we had no good weapons. We had mithril knives that procced Harvester every time and wasted time, and it was awful.
Yep.
And like I agree with Fathel. Like it was a fun seed, but it was a tough seed to get through. It really was. So
yeah, there are a couple other contributing factors to that as well. The first one is that Terra started at level 8. So, and then Cyan joined at even 5 levels above the average. So I think he was 15 for me, and I think it was 15 for you as well. So that's a good thing, but it does come with the side effect that you can avoid all encounters and still be a high enough level. Because if Terra were to start at level 2 and you try to blaze through Moogle charming everything, you're going to be severely underleveled. But you were actually able to do it with the Moogle charms because of that. But yeah, another thing is that most of the early game shops were double price. And the one shop that has a discount available was on the Phantom train when you don't have anybody to actually take advantage of the discount with. So instead you get a penalty. So that was price and a half, 50% more expensive than usual. So it was really hard to buy anything. And it was especially funny because I found that noise blasters break for level 5 Doom, which kills anything that isn't immune to it because
really?
yeah. And I used it. Dark Slash, you found a monster box in the clock at South Figaro against 2 very large enemies that have a lot of defense when you can't do anything. You can kill them with a noise blaster by breaking noise blaster, and you get no experience points for it. I got a couple Tiger Fangs, and I threw one of those at Vargas, and I threw one of those at Kefka, and it was nice, but yeah, it was a complete waste of time. So
well,
there were no.
it was actually at that point that I already knew that I was behind because I'd gotten the one chest in Castle Figaro and gotten Siegfried as the monster in a box. At which point I wait 30 seconds killing him, and then when I got that monster in a box in the clock in South Figgy, I had to reset out of it and then kind of redo South Figgy, which at that point I knew I was fairly behind, and so I kind of had to think about, okay, I know Fatho's just going to be cruising, so I have to try to do things that maybe will give me an advantage. So that's why I was, checking clocks for charm bangles, because the charm bangle would let me, kind of get ahead a little bit. Or I checked some more chests in the Returner's hideout because I needed more throwables because we had a character to throw and nothing to throw. We couldn't buy anything. We had nothing. But
yeah, I mean, I didn't bother with that because I knew we had a Moogle charm. Like I checked Edgar right away and saw Moogle charm, and I'm like, okay. And I don't get the chests in Figaro Castle anyway, and I usually skip a lot in South Figaro.
Yeah,
So I was like, go in there. I went to the shops because I wanted to see if there was any shurikens or anything. And then I'm like, yeah, well, leave. Then I didn't have money for the chocobo.
And everything costs an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
So like,
one thing I didn't know though was that offering reduces your sword tech damage.
Oh yeah.
I had no clue about that. I was sitting there, why is my fucking freaking level 12 Bannon doing 100 damage with dispatch? I was watching it after, and you mentioned that, Cecil, and I was like, oh really? I never realized that.
Follows the standard formula in half. So Valiant Knife's HP bonus doesn't get affected because that's not part of the standard formula, and Fixed Dice very infamously does not get cut in half because that's not the standard formula. Tempest's Wind Slash, that's the Wind God Gao. That doesn't get cut in half because that's magical damage. The actual swings get cut in half, but nobody cares about those. But everything else does. All of your fight damage, if you were to, for whatever reason, use Capture with Offering, it would half that. Sword Tech, Tools, Blitz, Throw.
Jump.
Really sucky with an Offering. Jump, yeah.
Jump in.
Throw with an Offering is like a big, massive sack of disappointment. So, do not recommend.
Just means you gotta find those fixed dice.
Yeah,
and hope and hope that it rolls high every time. Hey,
Oh,
again,
but one of my favorite things about that run, besides the desperation attack thing that happened, was seeing that I had a Quake Rage right after floating everybody, and I was like, "Did I just use that on tunnel armor?" I refloated. I'm like, I'm gonna rage him, Quake Rage him.
I checked my rages a bit earlier in the seed, so I had 8 of them. So it's like, all right, I got a rage with Peck Laser, and I got a rage with the ×2 special. So I'm like, I'm just gonna laser focus those ones, and then I used them like once.
Yeah, I don't think I checked
And
my rages at all until just before tunnel armor.
and I felt behind, so I'd never checked my ridges at all and never used them. So, which now I regret because I mean, Quake. I saw the Quake and I was like, man, that would have been so good.
that would have been helpful. I can't
Well,
say I've been going through the README file that you guys have on GitHub, and I
of
gotta
course
say,
you
there's
would.
of course, listen,
Well,
as
there to be read.
exactly,
It is
Read me
there to
right
be
it
there.
says
read.
README, and I'm on GitHub all the time doing work on FFR. So I mean, I'm like, well, I gotta take a look and see all this stuff. I will say I love the sense of humor of putting in a Rot 13 hint system.
Yeah, that's been in there since Abyss.
That's all Abyssinium.
Yeah.
That's and I do like the I can't choose my party for the final battle. Is this a bug? No.
No.
Just flat out, nope. That's the way it's supposed to be. I also, and it's interesting you guys kept mentioning the Moogle charm because it even comes in here and says the Moogle charm doesn't work. No, it's working as intended. It was nerfed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I should note too that there is now a flag that you can choose your final party.
Yeah, for like
Yeah, we
8
can
years or
support that.
something, you could not choose your final party. But
Oh, wow.
I can't remember when you guys put the flag in.
I don't
It
know.
was probably in
When
CD.
I got tired of people whining about it, so
Fair.
Yes. No,
because these new players would play a seed, they'd finally get to the end, and then they would rage quit because they couldn't choose their party with their four best characters, and the rest of their characters all were bad.
I do
So it's
admit the
like-
first time I got to the end, I was very mad that you couldn't pick your party. The very first time I got there, I was furious.
it is kind
Furious.
of a mean fu. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, thanks, game.
What do you mean I gotta take Strago, Realm, and Umar? This is not what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and sometimes it'll be the character with like a command exploder or something. It's like, oh great, awesome, nice. Or 8 times Spiraler Crusader is a command that has been seen in the past, which is might just be the worst command ever.
Yeah,
The least
that's
usable command.
that's pretty bad. That's hilarious, but pretty bad. Oh, the chat's pointing out her 8x imp song.
Yeah, so the fun thing about Imp Song is that it inflicts Imp, but it's one of the weird commands where if you use it on an imped target, it unimps them.
Yep.
So if 8 times Imp Song hits an even number of times, it does nothing. The fun part is Imp Song's accuracy is kind of low. If it were high, you could just write it off as a bad command. But because it's low, there's actually a decent chance of it hitting an odd number of times, so it gives you an incentive to use it and sit through 8 Imp Song command animations, which is an utter waste of time, but could theoretically be necessary if the enemy is strong enough. Because Imp is a very strong status element that doesn't really get used too much because it's rather unwieldy and not very clear. But it does help a lot when it really works. So
That
there's
is awesome and
using
horrible
commands.
all at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I also gotta say a lot of chat is supporting Cliff Doggo.
Yeah.
I would get bad things would happen to me if I removed Cliff Doggo at this point. So
yes, there are parts of Final Fantasy Randomizer that have the same thing. People would be very.
Dwarf went away. There's issues.
Oh yeah, if you took out the save or kill Heredor flag, oh.
Hey, if you kill Heredor, you're just gone. Please, no.
I don't argue with you. As long as I can still carbonate bubbles, I don't care.
But if you guys had to make like a big push or something to try to get the watchers or who comes on later to like come and join Beyond Chaos, what is your sales pitch? What is your 30-second? Hey, this is a great community. This is a great game. Come join us.
Well, I think what we bring to the table is just the severe depth of randomization. This, as far as gameplay goes, it's just positively explosive with what you can do with it. Every seed is not even something that even closely resembles any other seed. It's just the skill floor is as low as you want it to be, but the skill ceiling is as high as you want it to be. There's always room to bring some completely ridiculous strategy into the fray, and there's always something new to learn. There's always something new to experience, and I think that's probably the biggest draw to Beyond Chaos overall, is just the player versus environment structure to the game is just very well developed and very expansive.
One thing I would add to that is, and we haven't talked about it very much tonight, but the music randomization that has been created, and we have a very large curated list of music from a wide variety of RPGs and other games, is phenomenal. And there are people who will actually roll C's and just sit. We have a in-menu jukebox and just listen to the music because it really is that good.
Awesome.
And big shout outs to Emberling for creating that and curating that. So
We also have just a link for just a I'm struggling to words, but we have like a compository of everything. I think that's the word I want. I can just find it here. Here? It's not here. Is it in this channel?
Can never find it when you're looking for it.
Of course.
Yeah, I had a 50-50 chance because we have a music channel for just sharing music, and we have a music channel for actually developing music, and I picked the wrong one.
You can't do that.
Oh, does that get censored?
Yeah, if you toss it in the planning channel, I'll put it in just a second.
Sure, yeah. Now I need to figure out what that is. Planning channel.
Or the broadcast here. I'll tag you. There you go.
How do I even do that? One new mention. There we are. Yeah. Let's try that one instead.
Hey.
There you go, Jay. You can put it in there.
I got it.
It'd be great if it actually showed me on my end that it was censored, because I was like, I sent it and the link popped. I'm like, oh, nice. I can actually post links here. And then, like, nope.
No.
And I forgot I had the bot command queued up too. So there we go.
Yeah.
Wow. I will say that is quite the list.
Yeah, there are something like 400 songs there, I want to say.
Yeah.
And you can listen to them.
Yeah, I see the play button like right beside it. That's fantastic.
I know what I've got playing tomorrow.
What, Zozo's theme just constantly?
Oh, probably.
It's a horrible town. Everybody lies.
That is so much, and so many different games in here. I'm seeing Pokemon and Mega Man, and oh wow.
Even games from the PlayStation are Chrono, which is
Yeah, there are a lot of games that I've never even heard.
You'll even hear some FF1 music in there.
Ooh.
Well, I know that for at least our community, adding new music is a bit of a nightmare, just on the basis that the old NES cart does its thing. I know Meridian, one of our devs, has been a lot of work in, and even he said, yeah, it's not fun to deal with. There's no real easy way to do it, and there's been a couple people who have put a lot of effort into putting it into our game, but you guys are just, you got FF1 Battle, FF1 End,
amazing,
Volcano. Yeah, it was probably a similar. I don't know for sure, but I imagine it was probably a similar amount of effort. I don't know how Emberling did any of this.
No, Emberling is incredible.
I arranged a couple songs. I understand the language, but the actual tech behind constructing like this is light years beyond me. I'm just kind of like, have at it. I can't help you with this.
Yep.
Give me the music and I can play it. Don't ask me to code it. Wow.
Yeah, that was kind of the thing with Meridian. It was, this takes a lot of time because there's no actual real way to set this up properly. I was like, hey man, you do that. I'm gonna stick to coding this other stuff. It's less intense on the assembler language. Thank you very much.
And then even beyond that, even beyond doing all of this stuff, we also randomized the final boss music, which is a whole bear in and of itself, because with the final boss music, it will loop and loop and loop until you reach the next phase of the fight, and then it'll switch.
Yes.
And then that one will loop and loop and loop until you reach the third phase of the fight, and it'll switch again. So that's randomized as well. It uses special arrangements of the songs that use similar instrumentation to the original songs that are there, with the vocals and very heavy kind of brass type stuff, and like it's all there as well, and that's its own completely unique can of worms to do. And I'm sure, but yeah, we have that too, and that's pretty incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I am going to have to look through these tomorrow.
Yeah, awesome. that is fantastic. I will say, like I did spend a little bit of time going through and just looking at the GitHub stuff because that's just kind of what I do.
He's a nerd.
I'm a dev. It's what we do. So I had to, of course, take a look because that's what I do. But yeah, amazing. It's a large amount of work. Amazing. Just looks like a lot of amazing work put in.
Yeah, just the overall scope of the randomizer in every aspect is just so very large.
It is.
It's arguably one of the best ways to like enjoy FF6, but with a brand new coat of paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we said it earlier, but I want to go ahead and shout out just again. So you guys think the best way for a newbie to get into this is just join the Discord and start asking questions?
Yes, absolutely.
Yep, that'd be the easiest way.
Pop that back in here, just so
I was gonna say pop that in there.
See it, and go join up and learn a new game. I might have to poke in there.
Yeah, but before everybody goes, see, Jay didn't know about this, but I'm going to spring it anyways because I enjoy this. Most of the guests we have on, we subject them to the pulp questions, but in this instance, the pulp questions won't make any sense. However, I only have but one question for all three of you, and that is, who is your favorite character in FF6? I know it's a hard question, but I have to ask.
And a loaded question.
Got one, Tara.
I'd have to go with Edgar.
Gao for sure.
Gao. Wow. Very underused in the vanilla game, but very deadly in the vanilla game if you knew what you...
Yeah, definitely the power player kind of character.
Yeah. And it took a lot of effort. You had to put a lot of effort into it too, but no, that's fantastic. I mean, again, obviously Jay's is obviously the Moogle, and mine is obviously Setzer. But
Celis actually wins. Just Moogle was more acceptable for a 12-year-old boy. I'm sorry.
Anyway.
I think my love of Gao is actually from using Rage in BC because you don't have to grind the belt ever.
That's fantastic.
You get to do incredibly broken things like 8 times fixed dice with a ×8 multiplier.
Woo, I love it already.
It's by far the most fun command to use in BC.
And you get a Rage Zerker, and that's a completely separate dimension of what is happening. Everything is quite literally on fire because the fire element shows up more frequently than it should when the Rage Zerker is in play. And yeah, so you get to set your own characters on fire, you get to set the enemies on fire, everybody's on fire. It's a great time.
Why is everything always fire?
I mean, you set the town on fire earlier, now everything's on fire.
Yeah, it's it's a whole Noita up in here. Everything is always on fire in Noita as well.
It's fair.
But with that, yeah, I think we're going to get ready to move on. It looks like we got a little bit of notice on the back rooms over here. We need to respin one of our wheels. So one of our prize winners has already denied their prize. So we're going to respin that in a few moments. But for you guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yes, thank you very much.
This game. And Oslato, transition us over.
Yeah, well, I got to say, again, I want to say this before you guys leave. Thank you very much. We appreciate having all randos. Thank you. Forgive me for my earlier misstep. It's been a sleep deprived 4 days with the rando going on this whole time. We're all working off a sleep debt, but with that, Jay. Oh yeah, it's.
My cat woke me up at 3:15 by vomiting on the floor next to my bed. That was fun.
I get that a lot. Yes, understandable. So that's it right there. But with that, thank you once again for your time.
Thanks for having us.
It was great. By all means, come back anytime. We're always happy to have our other randomizers on here to get their names out there, to get them introduced to other people. But with that, Jay, what do we have coming up now? Is it time for Sarah?
Oh no, I can't have Danny get on to me here. So we had the lupus that you couldn't understand. How about translation?
The slab.
Lupa 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 lupa. Have you been hurt by falling weapons and/or armor while walking around in the Atacam Desert? Did you spend time as a down party member due to someone else's negligence? Hi there, I am the spokeswoman for Lupa, Lupa, and Lupa, and we want you to know that you might be entitled to compensation. If you have lost serious grinds due to a Vorpal, or if you've been the victim of a fly-by wipe, then we want to hear from you. You deserve some gil for your time. You shouldn't see that EXP wasted in vain. We only collect if you win. You deserve to have the best team in front of you. You deserve Lupa, Lupa, and Lupa.
We're all broken. It's all broken. I'm gonna fix it. It's all broken.
See, when I do this, it stays broken.
Yeah.
But apparently, while Jay does his magic and fixes stuff, I will say that behind the scenes, looks like we're gonna have to redo. I believe it's the Sunday prize. It's gonna get a reroll. So if you didn't win, now's your chance to bribe Jay Scheidel to try to win.
Yeah, you got like 10 seconds for me to figure out how to do this.
Time is of the essence. But once again, I want to thank the FF6 Beyond Chaos community. I really appreciate your time, your effort, all the fans from the FF6 Beyond Chaos Discord that have joined us tonight. Again, thank you. We're happy to see you guys here again.
It is always great to have other communities in and just seeing what they come up with and what they have in store for everyone.
Yeah, our sister. I do love our sister communities, all the randos. But we have our wheel ready to go again.
Yeah, I just need to change this. It's not Beyond Chaos. This is Sunday. There we go.
Now, I believe WinFox has said if you roll WinFox, you're going to have to roll it again.
Okie doke.
I believe that's what he said. I will ask him later. Anyways.
Confirm that I'm on Sunday.
You are on Sunday.
This one, take off Ale.
WinFox can confirm.
And here we go.
As for the Lupa defense against Warmech security source malfunctions, I don't know if that was done for me or for the wheel.
Both.
Should I be offended?
And we have a new winner.
Smilefires is our winner of the Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered package.
We'll get that into the chat and get them all pinged out in the morning.
You mean we can stop pinging Ale?
No, we like to ping Ale.
Everyone likes to ping Ale. We even ping them on other servers. But yeah, so with that, I can say that the marathon was fantastic. Again, it's all everyone is going to talk about. However, there is one other thing I think we should be pointed out, that while the marathon was ongoing, we had a Lefanian ladder race that happened.
Uh-oh.
And
there was some spice to it, if I remember right.
Yeah, this was a long one. This was almost 6 hours of racing video games.
I know. It seemed like a great race, though.
It did. I haven't watched it yet, but it was a Wu versus Scar for the current champion of Lefanian ladder
league
and
legendary L's.
No, there is, but
that was the hardest thing about rolling that one seed for me, is coming up with all the L alliterations.
That would be the easiest part. But anyways, yeah. So now Scar won that race. So Scar is now your champion in the Lefanian ladder. So yeah, crazy times. I believe if things work out correctly, both myself and Phoenix will be running what we hope to be at least a 4-hour Soul Blazer randomizer for his position.
Oh my!
Bear's always. Bear is back in Opal. Don't you worry. He hasn't left Opal. He'll get right back up there. It's Woo. Let's be honest here. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a Soul Blazer randomizer versus Phoenix. I'm sure it'll be a very interesting. His goal for a day. Yeah, exactly. He wasn't going
to. Nice. But yeah, we should have a lot of other stuff coming up. Winter tournaments coming up soon. Yep. So be watching for that in the Discord coming up in the next few days here. We've got holiday stuff all coming up. I think we're going to take a small break. We're not quite sure on our schedule just yet. We'll let you guys know in the planning channel.
Yeah, and because of that, the Vorpal Roundtable, which again, if you're people to come out and defend the greatest weapon of all time, because it is, and we all know it is, or to be on Jay's side, whatever you want to do with it. Anyway, don't worry, it is still going to happen. We are still accepting applications, but the day may change. We're not sure. There's a lot of holiday stuff going on.
Well,
yeah.
and yeah, and then I can guarantee you, coming into the new year, so in 25, we're going to try keeping this thing going up as much as we can. But with Winter Tournament coming through, obviously, Winter Tournament matches will get priority on the schedule. And I can tell you that we will probably be moving days to Wednesday over it. So my schedule personally gets kind of crazy. We've got basketball games and wrestling matches every Tuesday night. So think of me, I'll be at high school basketball instead of here with you guys. But just be watching the plan or watching in the channel. We will talk and tell you the exact times.
Oh yeah, don't worry. We'll send a ping out for spectators. You don't worry. Yeah. We will keep everyone in the loop. But yeah,
just a heads up.
Yeah, we want to make sure that no one shows up. Oh, it's that time of day, and they're not here. It's like as much as we would love to entertain you, and do. We should also point out that for the summer marathon, it is going to be FFR live.
Oh yeah.
So you can go right now to the Marathon Live channel. Look at the wiki; it's all there. Don't forget you can book your hotel. Get all your stuff, get your tickets. It's going to be great. I'm looking. I will be there. I don't care if I have to drive or fly. I will be there. I have been told, on good authority, that I have to poke Fizzle to make sure about the airport situation. I've been told that Fizzle knows.
It's too far to go with a toddler? No, it's not. Nah.
Again, I don't know how far most people are. All I know is on the coast of Canada. Which,
all
here's all your information.
On the wiki. So if you're on the wiki, up here at the top, we got a nice new banner. Click the banner and takes you to your information. So there you go. It will be June 13th through the 15th, and it is going to be $75 for the weekend, $25 for a single day. We also got a pretty good deal on some hotel blocks. So if you use our link to schedule hotel, you'll be part of the FFR block. If you do call to go in there, just say that you're part of FFR, that we should have a block of rooms set up for us. So if you have any questions,
who calls nowadays?
Some people, not me.
God,
but
no. Talk
if
to
you have
humans?
Questions or concerns, there is the FFR Media or FFR Live channel under Marathon. Ping us in there or let someone know, and we'll try to help you out as much as we can.
Absolutely, I cannot wait for this. It's gonna be great. I think my passport's still valid. I should probably check that.
Yeah, you should check that.
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah,
and leave your donair sauce at home.
No. I'm telling you, $500. Jay Scheidel will be playing Fantasy Randomizer. It's gonna be great. I will bring all the fixes.
I just love that Discord cut out for me during that. So yes, perfect.
I hope it didn't cut out for everybody. Donair sauce live on air. It's gonna be fantastic.
Ay. It did. Ha ha. Awesome, Discord.
Cool. That is cool.
I vote for a live. Get ready. There is stuff being planned for a live OJ Power Hour.
Most definitely. I mean, I believe of it. There's a lot of stuff that they want to involve us, which is fine. That's what I'm down there for.
I'm ready for it.
Absolutely. I've been ready for this since we started this, which we are almost coming up to a year we've been doing this.
Oh my goodness.
Remember, the Winter Tournament planning of 2024 was where we came up with this harebrained idea.
Yeah, this ridiculousness.
Along with the flag set that never dies.
Hey, 8.
Or a 1.
I could probably roll a d6 and get an 8. Knowing my
Only
luck.
you.
I rolled the Lithanian ladder this last week.
I know you did.
And I got Winter Tournament 24.
Yeah, I mean that's.
So
this week was Lost Woods, and that's.
Yeah.
And that Winter Tournament one that you rolled, I'm assuming you put that loot where you put it for fun.
But yeah, blame me. Just go ahead, blame me. It's more fun. Oy vey.
But with that, we can say thank you once again for all the support you've shown to our marathons, to our runners, to the charity. It's again, I cannot express enough how much.
$223 away from 30,000 overall raised. Like, holy cow.
Yeah. And I have to say, from the bottom of my heart, I am really, really sorry you had to hear the singing. But you guys paid for it. You paid for it. It's for the kids.
Can I pull that up really quick and let you all hear it again? Oh.
do you actually have it recorded?
I've got it clipped, so I've got it saved.
No. You can make it into it. We'll make it into an ad. We'll make it into an ad. Lupa 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 is suing whoever came up with this. But yeah, seriously though, seriously, it's just amazing to see all the support that the community as a whole has come out and shown the charities that because we do this twice a year, and no one's obligated to donate. Yep. No one is forcing anyone to do it. But what an outpouring of support, and a lot of great runners, a lot of great games, a lot of great moments.
Oh yeah,
this was I would say, I've been around for a long time.
This was up there.
This is probably the best winter tournament that we've done.
There were some real adrenaline moments in this thing. It's like, yes, this is just going.
And there were some amazing runners, amazing video game players who showed off just skills that even, again, you go back to the Axeman and the Hatchet Boy and watch Hatchet Boy play Hollow Knight and think, I can't do that, man.
Yeah.
Like, this boss beat me 7 times in a row. This
we
kid's
were
like,
the planning channel talking during some of that.
Oh, I was there too.
There was a time that the Hatchet Boy like raged at a boss, like, one of us. How many times you raged at Tia 2 or something, you know?
But that's it. Like, yeah.
Sat there on Chaos for 6 hits for 23 damage, or.
Do you want to know how long that took? It was 26. It was 6 hits for 29 damage. Remember, and no one remembered this at the time. Chaos regenerates 3 HP a turn.
I totally forgot about that one. Yeah.
So it is actually 6 hits for 26 damage, and
or raged at Danny Spiders.
Or Oslodo Wolves.
Oh.
Just remember, that was 8 minutes. It was 99, but it was a guaranteed win.
Yep. It was worth it.
And that worth it it's relative.
It's worth it for
Saracen loved it. That's all that mattered to me at the time. I got a meme out of it.
It's worth it for the viewers. That's all that matters.
No, it's one of those things. But next marathon, Team Canada coming back stronger than ever. We're gonna take the title back.
Eh?
Or force feed Jay Shidell Donairs. We're not sure.
Oh no.
You don't know until you try the sauce.
Wait, where's that server mute button?
Doesn't work all the time.
And it doesn't work. I know it would work on this. It's okay.
It doesn't work. We have discovered it does not work on
soundboards though.
It does not work on soundboards. We discovered that was Sunny, right in the middle of the rant, right in the middle of this. It's like that didn't work, did it?
Nope. It was awesome. But I think it's time to call this thing a day.
We were a bit late starting, but that was it. We had. We will be. Are we back next week, or are we off next week?
We'll probably be back next week. It just can't be on Tuesday.
Yeah, well, we will certainly make some
noise somewhere.
Yeah, you just keep an eye out for the channels. We'll always let you know when we're ready to go.
If you see us chatting, just know something's happening. Call it good.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
unless you're dark mute and you haven't muted.
I was gonna say, depending on what room we're actually in, we muted it quite badly. But with that, I got to say, once again, a big thank you to the FFR community. A big thank you to the FF6 Beyond Beyond Chaos community. Yeah, this is getting tired now. Again, thank you to all of you fantastic viewers who tune in every week to watch me stumble over my words as the sleep debt is catching up to every single one of us who was dealing with this marathon in the background, and some of us even weren't. But thank you all. Again, the OJ Power Hour will be back next week sometime. We'll let you know.
Keep an eye on the channel.
Don't worry. Yeah. And don't worry, the Vorpal debate will happen. Again, if you're interested, send a message to either me, if you support the Vorpal, or Jay, if you don't know what the Vorpal does. And yeah, we'll get that together and get that all ready to rock and roll. But with that, Jay, it's been a long couple of days.
It has. It's time to get
the
some
weekend.
sleep.
The week ain't over yet. But with that, I will say I have been half of your host from with the most from the coast, Oslodo, and I will see you in the next round.
Bye.